had Earl for the entertainment for the party, and I just remember walking out of that show and saying, being a clown is a really great art form. And still remember that show like yesterday. So we're going to have, I'm going to turn the mic over to.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
You have two mics. That's what you want to take. No.
I guess this one was working, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Check 1, 2.
So Chuck,
Yes.
we're going to let you do the next part.
Okay. Is this the good mic or is that the good mic?
They're both very good. You just gotta. You just bring it up to your mouth.
Up to my mouth.
Bring it up to your mouth.
No chewing.
Okay, thank you everybody for showing up. I'd like to thank Tommy Rockers for allowing us to have it here. I would also like to thank the Darwin's Magic Meeting for letting us do it here. Of course, Earl was a part of it for always, until all of a sudden he wasn't. Well, I'll just tell you a couple of things about the Broken Wand if you don't know. It's a ceremony that was first done with Houdini for magicians, and it was a famous actress who broke his wand. And to the best of my knowledge, the broken wand was a ritual gleaned off of American Indians who used to break the arrows of fallen soldiers. And the first time it was recorded for Americans, it was a tribe that broke the wands not for a fallen soldier, but for the end of the Civil War. And that's as much as I know. And so we're gonna have people come up and say whatever they want to say if they feel like it, because that's what we're here for, right? I'll tell you one of my favorite stories of Earl. When I first came to town, I used to go to Earl's. I used to work at Houdini's magic shops, work there 8 hours a day, and then I'd go work for free at Earl's because I loved hanging out with Earl and I loved his magic shop more. But Earl and I have a lot of things in common, a lot of things that offshoot hobbies of magic, I call it. But for me, it was offshoot hobbies of acting. And one was coin collecting. Well, one day he wanted to go to a coin shop, or not a coin shop, but coin convention at the Tuscany. And I said, well, I'll just watch the shop. And at the time, I was learning a trick called hopping halves. And it's a trick where the coins jump from one hand and they wind up in the glass. And I said, that'd be cool if I could get some Australian coins that have the little kangaroo on the back. It's called hopping coins, right? So he went to the coin shop, or the coin convention, and I ran his store till he got back. And he comes walking in with a big, cheesy smile on his face, eyes all gleamed over, and he just stuck his hand out like this. And there was 6 of those coins that I wanted. Now, I'll never forget what he said right after that. That'll be $29.95. Loves tax. Okay, if anyone else would like to come up and say anything, this would be a great time to do it.
Also, we have this extra mic. We have this extra mic for here. You want to talk?
Hi. Earl and I were both members of a kind of an elite secret organization that would sell cheeseburgers to children. My name is Tuba. And I'm a Macaholic. We have a Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus together. Our love of things clowning, our love of things magical, and one thing that we were at Peggy's place and just have nice, wonderful discussions about our as we grow older and older, the ailments that we eventually shared. Oh, really? Your bladder did that? Yeah, mine did that on a cruise ship. We can share more later on. But it's amazing when you find a person like Earl who he's had so many experiences, and as I grow older, and I think some of us all are essentially growing into parts of Earl Chaney, and becoming Mr. Clown in our own little itty bitty ways. And I'm very grateful to Earl for preparing me for all the wonderful experiences that are on the way. Thanks, Earl.
Hello, folks. My name is Michael. I apologize. Some of you have heard the story, but for those who haven't, I just thought that this was adorable about Earl. I was blessed enough to see him when he would come down to the WRCA at the Riverside in Laughlin, and so that was like popcorn, Lois Horn and Suds, and so Earl would hang out. We would all just stop talking, even me, which Judy will love if I say that. The story I wanted to share was that we were here in Las Vegas, and we took Earl to his first vegan restaurant just to see what he would do. And he had a milkshake that he claimed he had never had a non-dairy milkshake, and he took a bite of Jimbo's veggie burger, and it came up about family, and I said, I've never asked you, how many kids do you have? And straight-faced, he looked at me and said, 70 that I'm aware of. So I won't tell you about the other part of the story when I asked Chuck, but he was just, he must have been an amazing father. And he sort of said that he wasn't told that he was related to Lon Chaney until like he was 21. Someone will have to confirm that for me if that's true or not. But I don't know what to say. As a storyteller, I mentioned this today on the site, that I don't really have words of how sweet to get hugs from him and have him just have me laugh so hard I was able to be him. I mean, he's just such an amazing man. And so just to be here with all of you, being able to remember him, I just want to say thank you.
Would anyone else like to come up? Anybody? Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Here, Jeff. Oh, you want to go with them? Okay. No. Okay, Jeff.
Well, I'm not shy. I spent a lot of time with Earl. I guess I met him back in the 80s, but when I moved here full time in the 90s, Earl gave me a place to stay. He helped us land. I was renting those little by the month places, and Earl said, no, you can park all of your illusions here at my shop. You can rehearse here. We were getting ready to open at Caesar's Magical Empire. Remember that at the end? Oh, yeah. And he took care of Scott Hitchcock and myself, and he was so generous. And I realized he had that magic shop, and his motto was, if it ain't fun, we don't do it. Remember that? Right. And I think he owned that magic shop just for a place to tell stories. Because there's nobody at the shop, really. I'd be there all day rehearsing and back, and it was just his friends would drop in, one after another, the occasional customer, but he told me stories about his time in New Orleans and things I never knew that clowns did. To Mr. Clown, long live his memory.
Hi guys, I'm Johnny O, and I want to tell you one thing about Earl. Earl can get anybody to do anything. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen guys like Jeff on his knees in the back of his shop, painting, cleaning up the shop. He would just be so nice. You wouldn't think about it, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're back there working, moving stuff out of Earl's shop, moving stuff around, and the next thing you know, it's all moved around, and Earl's going, well, thank you very much. But he was the nicest guy you ever want to be, ever.
So generous.
Because, yes, he would do anything for anybody. And I know most of you, if you knew Earl at all, he would never tell a story he didn't know. And he knew more stories than anybody I've ever known. And I'm sure half of you know half the stories that he told you, and the other half know the rest. Yeah. So I'd like to say one thing. Thanks, Earl. I wanted to say that Earl helped me out when I was really down. Just like what Jeff said, he helped everybody came to town. When nobody else was around, Earl was the only one who helped me out. And I want to thank you all for coming tonight and thanking him.
Yes, sir. Come on.
I met Earl in the late 80s. I was just starting out in clowning, and he was teaching a class in Reno. I lived in San Francisco, so I said to my mom and grandmother, I want to go to Reno for the weekend. You want to go? They wanted to go just to gamble. I wanted to go to this class. And he was teaching character development and different clowning techniques. And I enjoyed it so much, and he was such a great mentor. And a few years later, I went to a clown convention, and my luggage didn't arrive. I had a clown costume that was being made for me and delivered to that convention, but I didn't have any clown shoes. So I asked Earl if I could borrow a pair of clown shoes. And he brought a pair of clown shoes, and they went forward and out to the sides like this. And he said, if you can walk in them, you can borrow them. Took me a while that first day to learn to walk in them, but I did. And then by the end of the day, I was so in love with the pair of shoes, I went up to Earl and said, I can't take them off. He says, well, we can make a deal. And then years later at Laughlin, at WRCA, Earl would often come down and teach. And one time he wasn't able to because of a family emergency, so they asked me to teach the class that he was going to teach in character development. So I went into that class, and I told everybody that he wasn't going to be here, but I was going to teach the class, and I was in his class before, and that I was walking in his shoes. Literally walking in his shoes. He was such an amazing mentor. Thanks, Earl.
Anybody else who would like to? Oh, you're next.
I'm Skittles the Clown from Western Region Clown Association in Fay, and Earl has just meant so much over the years. He really has, but I guess my favorite memory is thanks to Roy Nash. He's here somewhere. There he is. Roy was at a convention with me one time while he lived with Earl, and he was in costume during the day, and he wanted to run home and take a shower and change out of his clown costume into street clothes, and he didn't want to ride his motorcycle home, and I had my truck. I said, well, I'll give you a ride to the house, and of course to Earl's house. And so while he was in the shower, he said to me, he says, just go ahead and make yourself at home. And I got to look all around at all of his memorabilia for half an hour or so while he was in the shower. And that he had such a collector, and he had so much stuff all over his house. I don't know how many of you know that, but he had a lot of great stuff, and that was just one of my very favorite moments. And Earl wasn't even there during that moment, But between him and Roy, they gave me that fantastic memory I'll have to treasure for all my life. Thanks.
Okay, you guys. Well, a couple years ago, Earl and I went on a cruise. I'm shaking. What is that all about? Anyway, we went on a cruise and taught it was a clown cruise. And him and I were supposed to be like the headliners or whatever. And we got into the whole clown club or group got together, and him and I were going to teach this class. But he got to talking, and every time I'd say, just start to talk, he'd go, and Earl, right? And I'd try again, and then people out in the audience are going, say something. I couldn't, the man wouldn't stop talking. I tell you. And then it's so good, the stories that how can you say, oh, sorry, excuse me just a minute, Earl, But this year was a very special year for myself because Earl and I and Yvonne Brogdon took him to Mooseburger Camp this year. And it was amazing. And we took care of him. It was a lot of work. We took care of him. We rubbed his legs because his legs hurt so bad. And I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but I mean, don't you go to the gutter, Peggy. But anyway, it was something that was so special. And there were a lot of new clowns there, and they got to meet him and just thought he was the greatest thing ever. And he just had such a wonderful time. And he asked Trish if she could let him come back next year. And she said, every year that you want to come back. So, but we all knew that wasn't going to happen, but still it was a very special time for him. And we had a great time. It was a great memory. So thank you, Earl. Love you.
Okay, we're doing good. Anybody? So, my name's Bobby Barasini Jr. I was a circus kid. I was 4'3". I used to get in trouble at Ringling Brothers because I would get too close to the elephants. They get this kid away from the elephants. Anyway, Earl would also work there. I don't have too many memories of then. But somewhere around my 12th birthday, my dad hired a clown, and I had Mr. Clown as my clown for my family. It was amazing. It was the best magic clown show you ever saw. Everyone was jealous. All my friends saw this. And so not until last couple of years, I go to Mr. Hitchcock's Magic Luncheon, and a guy comes up behind me, and he taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Do you know who I am?" And I look and I go, no, sir, I don't know you. Yes, you do. I was 12 years old. You were 12 years old, and I did a magic show for you. I go, oh, Earl Chaney, and I remembered. And so every time I saw him at the Magic Luncheon. But my mom and dad, at when he did my party, of course, they already knew him for a long time from the circus. But those are my memories of Earl. So, would anyone else want to share any more memories of Earl? Right here. Oh, sir, come on up, and then we'll get to you. Come on, here you go, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm Earl Chaney's grandson, one of his youngest grandsons. I just want to share with you guys, I can't believe how many people showed up and I've shared the stories that they've shared. And it really touches me, and it would really touch my grandpa too. Just want to share with you guys what kind of impact that he had with me in my life. He was always my mom's dad. So, you know, that was Mr. Clown. That was Mr. Ronald McDonald. That was the original. That, you know, you'll never get that again. So it just means a lot to me to be up here with all you guys today. He taught me a lot about being a solid, you know, straight to it man. You know, always work with your hands and always think with your head. I've learned so much from him. I've bought vehicles from him. I've shared the impact of the hot rod stuff that he went through, all of the clown stuff. He's shared all of the stories. You know, probably more stories that have been shared tonight would be, you know, shared in my head, because I've already heard, you know, part of those stories. And just what an incredible person to be my grandfather, you know, my mom's dad. You know, out of anybody that I could pick out of my entire life, I could always think of my grandpa. He was the superstar of the family. He was the guy that, you know, wore the cape. He was the magician. He was the clown. He was the happy, sad, you know, all around guy. So just to hear everybody's stories, it really means a lot. I've got a ton of stories that I could share too, but I won't take up everybody's night. I just want to let everybody know that I'm really glad to be here, and thank you all for being here and sharing this moment with me, and it really means a lot.
Okay, there was a gentleman with a guitar. Come on up.
Oh, he's no gentleman.
He's no gentleman. Okay, then. The non-gentleman with the guitar. Oh, here you go, sir.
So I actually first met Mr. Earl working with this guy, Mike. And he was a very, something like that. I slacked off on the job, whatever. But Earl was always very, very funny, obviously, very intelligent, always a great story. I mean, he had so many. Everybody's talking about all the stories they've heard, and there's no end to the amount of good stories. He genuinely, probably, in my lifetime, is the most interesting person I will ever meet as far as it comes to stories and just the pure knowledge the guy had. But Earl, I've many fond memories with Christy. Christy is the owner of Aerial Fitness, and she works and trains aerial and circus and magic. And over the last year, okay, it's on. Over the last, I'd say 18 months of Earl's life, we had a lot of time with him teaching all of us under Christy. As Christy students, we all got a lot of quality time with Earl, and he taught us the most incredible magic tricks, the most incredible circus secrets, the most incredible stories about performance. And I can tell you, every single person who had the opportunity there to sit and learn with him, all of us, and we're young cats learning our crafts, and the influence is absolutely game-changing, and the things we learned from him, and also just being able to interact with him. He was such an incredible person. Now, there was a time at Christy's Christmas Eve party a while back. Earl and his son, Randy, came to the party, and Randy and I had my guitar there and was jamming. And Randy was also a musician, and we started jamming together for hours and hours. And it was a lovely time. Randy, sadly, 6 months later, had passed away, but Earl had left me with his guitar because he remembered us jamming. We were supposed to end up doing music together. But here I brought it because I actually just today, thank you, I got it refurbished. It's an electric guitar and I don't have an amp, so I was going to, this is Randy's guitar, Earl's son's, and I was going to play it for Earl one day, but I never got the chance to. And now I hold it, and Earl is a huge inspiration in my life as a performer, and will continue to be throughout my career with his influence. And I know one day I'll be on a stage jamming with this thing, and I'll think about him, and I'll think about Randy, and just the impact he had on myself and so many others is truly incredible. And he was a very, 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 very incredible man, and seeing him in the last months of his life, he carried himself with so much grace. And I think it really shows having everybody here today saying everything about him. And I just wanted to share this to you all. I'm too shaky to.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, you can touch it.
You can touch it. You can't play it.
It's got the battle stars.
Thank you, Randy.
Stairway to Heaven.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Anybody else before you?
Well, since the guy worked for me, I can't let him upstage.
Okay.
Give me the mic.
There you go.
Anyway, thanks, Justin. I didn't know that you met him through me. I'm dressed for the gym because that's where I'm going after this. So first of all, you know what I'm saying? Oh, hi, Dave Johnson. 9 digits, my ass. It's like 9.5. Anyway, so
Mike, 3/4.
the interesting thing is, that's what he told you. The interesting thing is, when I met Earl, first of all, I met him at originally one of Jonathan's parties, Amazing Jonathan's parties, and he was always so funny and interesting, but you know, he's a clown, right? So what do I care? Do magic, right? So I never really thought much of it, and then, but we had always hung out and everything like that, and then there was a period, flash forward to many years later, I was working on something in my show, and I brought Earl in to help me out with it. Just because we were just talking about discussing it, and I was listening to his background, and I'm like, there's so much knowledge. I mean, there's McBride, right? You have the knowledge. Earl had a ton of knowledge in a different area, but there's you, and of course, you know, the great Johnny Thompson and all that. But then Earl just kind of wandered around at the weirdest time, and all of a sudden I'm putting together this one bit in my show that Jonathan actually gave me to do, but I'm like, I don't think this is going to translate for my crowd. But long story short, what happened was, I started coming up with all these like little ideas, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they did that back in the circus." And everything I'm fucking saying, I'm like, "Oh yeah, we did that in the circus." I'm like, come on, Earl, are you serious? Yeah, where do you think it came from? I'm like, "Well, how about this thing here?" He goes, "Oh yeah, the circus, we did that," and he'll tell you when in the circus they did it, and I'm like, "This is absolutely ridiculous." So I ended up actually hiring to work for me, or with me, I should say, for probably it was a good 4 months or so, something like that. So he would just hang around, and I had him in the showroom all the time. We were going over ideas, and I was just amazed at how much information he had beyond what I would have thought of as far from magic, you know, and how many gags came from there. Because I'm writing comedy, so, and he's coming up with all this, and he was amazing. And then he was at my show just a couple months ago, and we hung out after, and he's telling me, I said, "You look great," and he goes, "Yeah, the cancer's back," but he's been telling me that for like 5-6 years, you know, and he's like, "Oh, the cancer's back." I'm like, "Ah, you'll be fine, you know, you'll fight it," all that kind of thing. And I guess this time he was telling the truth, but you know, he was a great guy, and I'm so glad you got to meet him, Justin, through that. And he was just an absolutely like amazing human being. And your where's the grandson? Where's that kid?
He's right back there.
Okay, the one that he taught you to work with your hands. Come on, kid. But your grandfather was absolutely unbelievable. He was like all the. Did you guys not love the guy? He was amazing. He was so funny. And I'm not even going to tell you about like the pictures he tried showing me of his dick and all these girls he dated. He was a horrible person. I love the guy though. He was amazing. You ever see those? Yeah, he's out there. Anyway, he slept with more women on that train. But oh yeah. Anyway, no, I'm done.
Okay, just in time. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. And you can see how greatly after this. Before we break the wand, if maybe one more person would like to speak. All right, here we go.
Thank you, sir. Did he show you the photos?
No, I didn't see the photos. Listen, no, just represent the bros. I worked with Earl Chaney. Moved in our neighborhood, I think around 1975 on Ringling Brothers Circus. I was telling his grandson Tommy, I don't know where he's at tonight, where he's here. But anyway, you know, we all with the Young Clowns and the King Charles Troupe, we all got together. And I was sitting back there talking to one of our managers back there. Said, the only really great, I know some great stories with Earl. I've been knowing him 50 years or more. But I can't tell it. You know, it's a story. You know, you just don't tell it. Okay, honest. You know, but yeah, after the dick story, I'm saying, hey, what the hell? I got nothing to lose here. My language, but we're all adults here. But anyway, I just want to say, honestly, thank you for giving me the courage to get up here. I'm not going to tell the story, but I'm just going to say I agree with you. He was a great man. You know, and with the bros, he was the first guy to visit me here in Las Vegas when we moved here in 1980 with Siegfried and Roy. Siegfried and Roy brought us to this town at the Frontier Hotel beyond belief. And Earl Chaney was the first guy to visit me, you know, and yeah, it was fun. But God bless him. Thank you very much.
If anyone wants to hear the story, they can go after the wall. We'll go back there. Okay. Wow.
Earl came here in 1974 in an old Chevy and a clown and a midget and a dream. And if you can't make it in this town with those tools, you just ain't trying. That's the truth. But the weird part was his dream, he wanted to start a band with clowns. And I guess no one told him about Kiss back then. So he went into a plan B. So, right? So he came here with Bob Casanova, and he came here with Antonio Hoyas. And Antonio went to Circus World for 7 years, and I'm not sure what Bob did. I only met him once. And but Earl, his plan B was he had I think it was called his Clown Ranch or something like that, where they all three lived. And he started selling magic. And throughout the years, I've been helping Earl go through all of his magic. And I find little envelopes that say Vanisher on it, right? And I'm going, Earl, what's this? Well, it's a Vanisher. I don't know what a Vanisher is. I mean, I know what vanishing is. So I opened one up, and it was just a little piece of hose with a piece of elastic on it and a safety pin. And I said, you sold those? He said, well, yeah. I said, why do you use that stuff? He goes, well, that's what was in front of me. So he was so smart that way, because you use what's in front of you and you work your way forward. It was brilliant, I thought. He was really, really a Renaissance guy. I mean, it sounds like a stupid thing to say, but he was, because he made his way every single step of the way. Just an excellent guy, in my opinion. But from that point to, till he retired, he had a hot rod shop. Most people don't know that. He had an ice cream shop. Most people don't know that. And he had, of course, Planet Hollywood, or Planet Mirth, his famous magic shop. I love that magic shop because, like you said, people go there, but a lot of people didn't buy stuff, but they went and you heard the best conversations. I told Earl that it was like a magical barbershop. Yeah. Because that's exactly what it was. You go there, and again, two places in this town when I first came here were unbelievable to me: Boomers and Earl's Magic Shop. Because you would walk in. First of all, Boomers was this cool place where you have to go through this horrible dark neighborhood. and you had your brights on, your extra brights on. If you had a cop thing on the top of your car, it's going. And you go in, and it's a dank bar. And then you go in, and it's wall-to-wall legends. When I first came here, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was amazing. It was completely amazing. If you'd never had that experience, I feel bad for you, because it was amazing. His magic shop was exactly the same way, only he had coffee there for free. People would walk in, just legend after legend, and Earl would be reading his newspaper like it was no big deal that these people are walking in there. And they're talking their stories, and they're doing their tricks and comparing their moves. Such an educational place to go. We were blessed to have that magic shop, and we were blessed to have Boomers, and we were blessed to have, of course, towards the end of Earl's time here, he spent a lot of time with Christy Taguchi and her circus school. And I've had like a million conversations with Earl over everything. And I don't know that he ever loved anything more than he loved cars. Well, in order, it was magic, cars, and circus. And that was it. He loved circus more than anything I've never... Magic, cars, he was done with them when we had these conversations. But yeah, but I've heard all those stories too. Yeah, the donkey show and all that. But he loved going to Christy's shop. He couldn't stop talking about her ever. He adored her, and she adored him. And it was so funny because I'd go to his house easily once a week. And it was always, Christy the Gooch, Christy the Gooch, Christy the Gooch, Christy the Gooch. All the time. It's like you have to give him a burp to get the last one out. Got one locked in the chamber? Christy the Gooch. All right, are you good now? You're good. And he just loved teaching people his circus stuff, and he loved teaching people his magic. And that's all I got to say about that. I love him. I'm going to miss him. Earl wasn't really big on religion and stuff, but I would like everyone to just kind of bow their heads, close their eyes for 1 second, for one moment. That's enough. Who knows how long a moment is anyway, right? All right, I guess we're ready to break that stick. All right, so if you would hold that, please. I made the wand, and here it is. Okay, I made the wand because I love Earl, and I wanted him to have a good wand for a good ceremony. And but Earl was not a big crybaby about anything. So when I break the wand, what I would like you to do is I would like you to cheer like you saw the best show you ever saw, because that's what he was. Earl was one of those guys who drove his car till the tank was empty. And I knew him for a long time, and he never did anything halfway. It was all the way until he was done. And he's done. And I thank him for his time, and I thank him for his friendship. And, okay, there we go. And remember, cheer as loud as you can. Cheer as loud as you can, because that's what he would want. You know, one more spotlight. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, everyone, thank you for coming. We appreciate all the performers here. You know what? I know we gave the applause, but just remember, we all do this for the applause. You know, my family, when someone passes away, we do it customarily. We send them away with applause. So that was beautiful that you guys did that. So, but anyway, with that,
I'd like to say one last thing. Okay. I would like to get one good group picture of everybody for the tribute page. And if anyone took any pictures during the night, if you would send them to Earl's tribute page, that would be nice too. And there's one other thing I wanted to say, and I forgot what it was. But that's it. Please, if you haven't signed the sign-in book, please do it before you leave, because the wand is going to be sent to his son. And so is the book, and the extra pictures and stuff are going to be sent to him. I didn't do that. Ricky did that. But
Alan, did you want to say anything before we go? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Everybody wants to get together somewhere?
Maybe the bar so we can have